You know, when a community is going through a very disruptive time, when you see people losing their lives to violence, losing businesses, losing income, when you see people are feeling very enraged and feeling vulnerable and feeling attacked, it does something to the body on a collective level and on a personal level. And I'm like so many of you that are saying, you know, what can I do to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem? What can I do and not appear to be apathetic or like I don't care? We do care. But I want to speak to those of you that are affected emotionally and spiritually by what you're seeing in the news. There are those people that are enraged and their anger has mobilized them to get out and do certain things. And then there's some people who they do care and they are affected, but they're affected in their bodies and it affects them to the point that they get sick to their stomach, they get headaches, they can't sleep, they become irritable, they can't work, they can't function, they don't want to eat. And for some people, their addictions are triggered. It's like they need to be soothed, so they want to drink or do drugs or just sleep all day and all night because it's too much to deal with. And so I want to speak to those of you that are very sensitive and are empaths. I want to remind you how important it is. I feel like this is my role, is to remind you to stay centered in God, to remember who you are, to remember to guard your heart, your body, to guard your emotions, to guard your peace of mind. Stay alert, stay awake, and don't let the enemy win. The attack comes in so many different ways. It attacks us mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It attacks us economically. It attacks our sense of self-worth. It attacks our faith. And so it's important for those of you that are resonating with this message right now, to understand the importance of staying awake, staying alert, staying prayerful, and throughout the day, just breathe and remind yourself who you are and do a body check and ask yourself, what is it that I'm feeling? And how is the energy of the world? Where has my immune system been attacked? Because the immune system is set up to keep intruders out, germs. Yeah, that's what the immune system does. But when the immune system says, you're not keeping out the germs that are attacking my mind and my faith, then your immune system, your spiritual immune system, your emotional immune system is attacked. And now you are more predisposed to the flu, predisposed to fear, predisposed to being paralyzed, predisposed to having some anxiety. And so I want to speak to you on many different levels, and I'm kind of struggling with this, but I think you know where I'm going with this. And that is that, you know, if you're not the type of a soldier where you're out there actively marching, you're out there doing certain things with your physical body, but with your mental, your emotional, and spiritual body, you are affected, and you find that you are locked down on so many different levels, and you find that you can't function, you can't sleep, you are worried. I want to encourage you to do that body check and to remind yourself you cannot fall prey to the traps and the tricks of the enemy. You must stay aware and guard your health, guard your peace of mind, guard your faith. Why? Because not only are we living through an historic time of a pandemic, but we're living in a time of an infodemic. We're getting information from every direction, every source, and we have to trust our discernment, our intelligence, our instincts to discern what is valid, what is true, what is helpful, what do we need to be aware of. You've got to fight the enemy on many different levels. You cannot just roll over and surrender and play dead. You can't be in denial. It's real. Things are popping off. And people need to guard their mental health, especially those of you that can be easily triggered into falling back into some unhealthy habits like, you know, drinking or drugs or sleeping or anger or abusive behavior toward your family members, reckless driving, reckless living. You want to really find that place of a healthy mindset where you are awake, but you're also doing your due diligence. We've got to vote. We have to vet our leaders. We have to be careful what goes in our ear gate and our eye gate. We have to be mindful guardians of our lives and our livelihood. You've got to tap into your creativity and your faith, the power of prayer, the power of conversation. This is not the time to be quiet. This is not the time to shut down. This is not the time to act like nothing is happening. The world is shifting. Politics are shifting. Attitudes are shifting. Ignorance, violence, greed, corruption are running rampant, and it's being televised. And so wherever you are, if you're the type of person that you feel everything and you're like, oh my God, I can't move, and you're full of anxiety and you're full of worry, you don't want to do that either. That's not healthy. Do not get unplugged from God. None of this that is happening has surprised God. You want to stay grounded in your personhood, grounded in your divinity, grounded in your faith, grounded in your civil rights, grounded in your courage, grounded in your self-esteem, grounded in your ability to discern what kind of game people are playing with you, whether it's on the job, in your family, in the news, in the politics. You've got to get your spiritual antenna up. You've got to stay alert. I think that a lot of things that we are witnessing right now is evidence that we got too comfortable. I think it's evidence that we got comfortable and fell asleep, and now the enemy has just like, got you. Yeah, you thought we were gone. No, we're still here. Legions wearing different types of uniforms and different types of apparel and different types of uniforms and different types of masks and different types of behavior, getting into our lives and disrupting people's lives, hurting people, killing people, businesses shutting down, people living in fear. We got to do something. And so if you're not the person that is very physical in your ability, or the rage is not mobilizing you to get out in the streets, you can do something. You can fight against the enemy with acts of kindness, with acts of prayer. You can come against the enemy by being informed. You can come against the enemy by being authentic in who you are and showing up and getting out of the bed and doing your due diligence. You can come against the enemy by speaking truth. You can come against the enemy by learning how to be flexible and resilient in a time of radical change. And that's what we are experiencing. The bear has been poked, and the bear is angry. The bear is growling. The bear has awakened. And so we are living in a time of a great awakening on a personal level, on a business level, an economic level, a political level, a spiritual level. We are awakening to new changes. We're awakening to a reality that can seem very disruptive, but none of this has caught God by surprise. And as I have said in my earlier video messages, I am embracing this word, brutal, that life is both brutal and beautiful. Life is miraculous and also has a lot of misery. Yeah, there's a lot of grace and there's a lot of grit that we must muster up to get up each day and do what we need to do. Life is full of trials and tribulations and triumph. Life is messy and life offers many miracles. Don't lose sight. Stay flat-footed in the truth of God. Stay flat-footed in your core values. Stay flat-footed in pursuing and seeking your true purpose and your role as a soldier. Stay flat-footed in what God is telling you, how God is animating you, and how God wants to manifest through you to bring forth truth and love and justice and kindness, compassion, and healing. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hitting the share button with those that you know would resonate with this message.